We are here now on the 15th of September. And just yesterday, news finally officially came out for now. I believe this is maybe the fourth date they've had for this fight. Where Monday, October the 4th, yes, Monday, October the 4th, for $49.99 on Triller Fight.tv here in the States. You can purchase it on pay-per-view in the Hulu Theater in Madison Square Garden, and that's called the Small Room Theater. From my understanding, that the Hulu Theater seats about 8,000 or so, 5 to 8,000. I forgot the exact numbers for a boxing event. I've been there multiple times. Teofimo Lopez is going to be defending his WBC franchise, IBF, and WBA titles against his mandatory challenger, IBF champion George Kambosos. Oh, and WBO, IBF challenger George Kambosos. Now, the issue I'm having is that Ryan Kavanaugh, who runs Triller, did an interview with Mike Coppinger of ESPN stating that the pay-per-view was going to be $19.99. Well, here on this press release to officially announce the fight again, tickets are on sale, by the way, today, Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern, that it's going to be $49.99 on pay-per-view. Now, let me put that into perspective, right? Here in the States, we have Monday Night Football. I believe it's going to be the Raiders versus the Chargers. Here in the States, Monday Night Football, you don't mess with. So this event, Monday Night Football, by the way, starts at 8 p.m. This event is starting at 7 p.m. for the FREEVIEW, but the pay-per-view itself is 8 p.m. Here's what they have on the undercard, by the way. A Daniel Gonzalez of Woodhaven, New York, takes on a Petros Ananyan, if I'm pronouncing that right. That's a 10-round junior welterweight bout. Then you have a Jose Roman versus Puerto Rico's Cesar Francis. And then to open the card, you have a Will Madera versus I can't pronounce the guy's name. It's here on the screen. He's from Uzbekistan. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say I may have heard of some of these guys before. I may have not. But for them to put this fight on a Monday, when you look at October the 1st, which is a Saturday, there's no boxing on that date. And when you look at the next week, you have Tyson Fury taking on Deontay Wilder for a third fight. That's going to be $75, $80. And then let's not forget the two pay-per-views we're having in November. Put it this way. I am on my very last toe, my very last pinky toe with my tolerance of Triller. Nothing seems to ever go as planned with them outside of the first two Jake Paul cards and the one with Tyson versus Jones. And now you have something like this. I understand that they have time constraints and the IBF, put a time deadline on when this fight has to be done because Kambosos, has been due his IBF mandatory. But my personal opinion is they should have just kept the date. What was that? June the 4th, Big J? The day before Mayweather versus Logan Paul.
June the 6th.
They should have just
June the 5th.
They should have just kept that date. But yet, Teofimo Lopez, which I'm going to go ahead and say, came down with COVID. That seems to be a very convenient excuse for boxers these days and managers and promoters when a fight is not trending well in ticket sales or so. So, for example, it's being rumored that De La Hoya versus Vitor Belfort had sold something like 2,000 tickets or so up until about a week before Oscar De La Hoya all of a sudden comes down with COVID. We're going to leave that part alone, but something's fishy here. And frankly, I'm just glad that the fight's going to happen. I hope that Teofimo Lopez has learned, even though he is making a career high $3.9 million guaranteed. Now, to put that into perspective, according to ESPN, Sean Porter is making $4 million versus the $6 million that Terrence Crawford is making for them to fight on November the 20th. George Kambosos 2.1. So that goes ahead. Hold on. So as I was saying, both of these fighters are making top 10 for the whole year guaranteed purses. This is guaranteed money. Now, me personally, the pay-per-view is going to flop. $50 on a Monday with Monday Night Football, and then you got Fury versus Wilder 3 that next weekend. It just doesn't make sense. However, I'm glad it's getting done. But to me personally, after watching the and paying for Evander Holyfield versus Vitor Belfort, Tito Ortiz versus Anderson Silva, if you don't know, Triller's PR team, they abruptly quit this last week for whatever. You got Vitor Belfort offering Jake Paul $30 million. You have to wonder where this money's coming from. So right now, I got to be honest, Lopez, he's lost a lot of momentum this year. And even if you look at his social media engagement, people are tired of talking about him. And, no disrespect to him or his father, but it's like, I understand the Triller money. Okay, they couldn't turn it down. It was a purse bid. Triller won. But, they really have a lot of building or rebuilding to do after this Kambosos fight if they win. Because if this was 6-7 months ago, I would have easily picked Teofimo Lopez. But now, with possible weight issues, the layoff, I'm thinking, all of this may benefit George Kambosos more with Teofimo Lopez having the pressure on his shoulder. But I'm going to let you come in, Jay. What's your thoughts?
I just can't believe that Triller was dumb enough to A, move the date again, and B, increase the price by 250% going up against Monday Night Football. How bloody stupid's that? I mean, Pete, I've explained it many, many times, and why does Aussie boxing always have a pay-per-view on Wednesday night?
Yeah, to avoid footy. You're the number one sport, football, the number one sport in Australia.
Well, the number one sport in Australia is actually cricket.
Well,
but,
okay, all right.
The football codes, during the winter, you don't fuck with the footy codes. You stay out of their way. They're too big. Everyone knows the football's on the week or Thursday night to Sunday. The football's on. You do your events Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, so you don't mess around with the footy. During the winter. During the summer, not so much. So you can pretty much get away with whatever. But, during football season, don't put anything up against the football because it's simply just not going to work. But, I can't understand. They increased the price by 250%, right? So they've more than doubled it, and then they put it up against Monday Night Football. Are they crazy? Who made that decision? Ridiculous.
And also, I'm looking. How is the event going to do on what would that be, a Tuesday morning?
No one's broadcasting it in this country that I can find. KO Sports isn't broadcasting it. Main Event's certainly not broadcasting it. I checked the websites 10 minutes ago before we done it.
I have Main Event pulled up right now. It's not on it. They have Fury.
Yeah, you ain't gonna find
Wilder Fury 3 on it.
They got Fury Wilder. Yeah, they got Fury Wilder 3. I think
Extreme
UFC
Rules, and they have UFC 266.
Yeah. They'll always show Vince's pay-per-views. UFC without a doubt, but they're not going to show this. And I don't think they might not even put it on 507 or Fox Sports. Who knows? They might. But then again, you're going to have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday morning to watch it?
A complete rush job. They rushed it.
This is a bigger clusterfuck than the Montreal Screwjob. This makes the Montreal Screwjob look professional. What a mess. I mean, who's doing this? Who's making these decisions? Because what was the first thing I told you about this? You remember the first thing I told you about this whole situation? What did I say?
What? Short-term gain, long-term pain?
Exactly. And that's exactly what's bloody happened, hasn't it? What a bloody debacle. That's putting it nicely. What a debacle.
I mean, after this event, unless they find some more old fighters to fight or box, I don't see how Triller's going to survive after this. They have little to no confidence from fans. Even media are slagging them off. And now, if you're a fighter, would you really want them to bid on your fight if it comes to a purse bid? I noticed across social media yesterday, and the day before and the week leading up, that, with the Sean Porter and Terrence Crawford purse bid, you had many media and fans, including myself, were saying we hope Triller stays as far away from it. because they just, they're complete. Put it this way, they're unorganized. They come across as unprofessional. They keep, you can't trust their dates. You buy a ticket in one city. The fight falls through. A fighter comes up with COVID. It moves to another. With Oscar De La Hoya versus Belfort, that was supposed to take place in L.A. And then because of whatever reasons, many reasons, they moved it, to Florida for it to be Holyfield versus Belfort. None of it makes sense with them. And frankly, I'm fed up, and they need to really, really do some restructuring and maybe, stay away from fights for a little while and just focus on their concerts, one of which they had last night. Because I'm honestly, I'm tired of it, and even though I know that they have deadlines, I don't have 100% confidence, 90% confidence, 80%, 70% that this fight even happens on October the 4th. It's hard to believe them these days.
Well, as I said last video, until both those boys are in the ring with their gear on and their bell goes ding, that fight ain't happening. I've got no confidence because I don't even have confirmation if George has even left the country yet.
No, I'm looking on his
Fight's in what, less than 3 weeks?
Yeah, I'm looking on his social media, and it hasn't said that he's left. 3 hours ago, he posted some promo material on the 14th. Yesterday he posted battle preparations never stopped. I've been ready since your no-show June 19th, still ready more than ever. I've been patiently waiting October the 4th. So, he must have some type of plan, because when he comes over here, first of all, if you don't know anything in New York, you want to go to Broadway, a New York Knicks game, New York Mets, anything you want to go to, you have to be vaccinated. Athletes have to be vaccinated. The IBF put a mandate, and Teofimo Lopez, he is vaccinated. Of course, he wasn't going to turn down that 3.9 million. So Kambosos is going to have to be vaccinated and come over here and quarantine and then make weight. This is nuts. And he's having a baby.
He probably would be. I'm not going to confirm it, but he probably already is fully vaccinated, because New South Wales has been, I would imagine, down on. I mean, the rollout in Australia, particularly in New South Wales and Victoria, where all the cases are happening, it's just like they're literally, it's, get your jab, get your jab, get your jab, get your jab. I think New South Wales and Victoria is almost at 80% of eligible for first jab, and New South Wales is about the same. So you'd think that, he'd have to get jabbed, he'd have to be fully vaccinated before he leaves the country.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You'd say at this stage he probably already got it done, or at least waiting for his second jab. So I think like 3 weeks between jabs? I'm not quite sure. I haven't looked into it, and until it's mandated, I'm not going anywhere near it. So anyway, moving on.
Now they're saying that it's going to be musical guests, in a full evening of entertainment. I'm really, I'm like I said, I'm done with Triller. To be honest with you,
I don't care. I don't care what they're putting on. I mean, all they need to do is put the show on. I mean, now you're wondering how much more badly can they cock this up? Yeah. So, I mean, as you said, the only event that ran smoothly was their first one.
Yeah. And then you had Tyson and Roy Jones talking about, they didn't get their money.
Well, yeah, that's been going on ever since. Yeah. I mean, have they been paid?
It looks like they have, but we haven't really heard anything concrete, in the last few weeks or so.
Oh, fair enough. Because that was part of the reason Tyson didn't fight Holyfield. He hadn't been paid for his last fight. Well, that was the rumor going around. Yeah. So, yeah, but it's just been a complete, absolute mess. Yeah, you don't know what to say. I mean, I'm like you. I'm just totally sick of it. Yeah, it's such a shame because
I'm fed up. I'm like, I'm tired of it. I just want to see him in the ring.
Well, don't forget that George is getting zero publicity from this in Australia. He's been completely and utterly fucked over in so many ways. It's not funny. No Australian broadcast is picking up the fight at this stage. And we don't know if they will, and if they do, I dare say they wouldn't put it on pay-per-view. I don't know.
And also, they may be tired. They may be fed up with Triller.
I don't blame them if they are. Personally, I mean, it's bad. It's bad for George because no one gets to watch the fight. But can you really blame any broadcaster that wants to walk away and stay as far away from this as possible? I certainly don't. No.
Yeah.
You can't blame them. All they're changing the dates. $10 says they'll change the date again.
Yeah, we can't. I mean, I don't think they can this time. I believe the IBF put a hard mandate on them. No, not the if you use the word mandate, but yeah, they put a hard timeline on them to be like, look, Teofimo Lopez has been out of the ring since he fought. What was that? That was October the 17th.
Yeah. That's almost a year ago.
Yeah, almost a year ago when he fought Lomachenko. Lomachenko has since had surgery and returned to fight Masayoshi Nakatani, who Teofimo Lopez struggled with. Lomachenko destroyed. And George Kambosos' last fight was a couple of weeks after that. Yeah, a couple of weeks after that against Lee Selby. So even though they're making this money, could they have made the same amount of money if they would have had 2 fights instead of just being on the shelf, for a whole year? So it didn't really pay off.
Teofimo could have made the same amount of money.
Yeah, not George. Probably not George.
Unless he won. If George won and then had a fight in Australia, he will. So, but Teofimo either way, yes, but George, nah, I don't think so.
Well, let me go ahead and break down the rankings real quick, let you know what's going on in the division. Of course, Teofimo Lopez has all of the main belts. Devin Haney still has the regular the WBC situation with at 135 is very confusing with Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, and Jojo Diaz. Tank Davis has decided to hold on to his WBA world title. If you haven't learned or heard, the WBA has been forced to get rid of all of their underling belts, and it's looking like we may see Tank Davis be ordered to fight the winner of Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos. That's a very, very high possibility. And you have Lomachenko, who's creeping up to being a WBO mandatory. Right now, you have Teofimo Lopez within the last week or so saying he's not interested in a Lomachenko rematch. But yet we know that him, Bob Arum, and his father had a meeting, a few months back where they pretty much discussed the fight and saying that it's pretty much done. So I just think that's him selling the fight. I think that if Teofimo Lopez wins, against Kambosos, he's going to fight Lomachenko, and then after that, probably move up to 140, win or loss. I don't see Lomachenko moving to 140. Now, George Kambosos, if he wins, which, I got to be honest, I'm giving him more of a chance. I'm giving him a 40% chance to win because Teofimo Lopez, he's been open about the weight issues he's been having even before he fought Vasyl Lomachenko. Having this layoff, and if he did or did not have COVID, all of the distractions, everything going on, I'm not...
And his wife's also pregnant. Throw that into the mix as well.
I believe, yep. And his wife is also pregnant. He's got that money. Maybe it may have went to his head. We don't know. But, I still think it's going to be a fight worth watching. But we got to get the fighters in the ring. Closing thoughts?
Yeah, damn right. Just get it over and done with. Bloody hell. It's, is there anything more to say except for when the fight actually happens?
We've already said it's no more. We've already said it. We're beating a dead horse at this point, because we just have to wait for the fighters to get in the ring. So we will be here for the fight week content, the final press conference, the weigh-in, and the media workout. Triller are good with doing that to make sure that the fight week events go smoothly. So we will be here for all 3 of those. And then, of course, the post-fight press conference. And I think likely what they'll do is they're going to hold off the main event and have some concerts or whatever until Monday Night Football is over. They had Donald Trump for this last event, which I was completely shocked at. So maybe they'll try to pull some power move to get some extra promotion during football or something. I don't know, to say, well, after Monday Night Football, go over to Triller to, watch this, fight. I don't know. But Lopez, after him defeating Lomachenko, his stock marketability has dropped because the momentum, the momentum.
Yeah, it's crazy. He should have fought. They should have just stuck to that June 5th date or where it was. So they shouldn't have let bloody Mayweather and Logan scare him off. So the result's going to be exactly the same.
It's going to be the same thing. They're not exactly. People are already talking about, they're not buying that because it's competing with Monday Night Football, and then you still have another high-profile pay-per-view. Yeah, it's not Mayweather, but you still have a high-profile pay-per-view literally 5 days later. You have this pay-per-view, Lopez Kambosos for $50 on Monday, and then on that Saturday, you're gonna have Fury versus Wilder 3.
Yeah, I don't know who made that financial decision at Triller, but it ain't gonna work. It's gonna turn more people away. They'll be like, fuck off, I'm not paying for that. I'll watch the footy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, they're pretty much. that would be the mentality. So, yeah, but once again, I'll go on record. I hope George gets in there and smack the living daylights out of him, but we'll see.
All right. Well, please take your time out, like the video, subscribe, follow me at on Twitter at TstreeT Controversy, and follow Big J at Old Mate Big J. Like the video, and really, unless something comes up, we're not going to be doing another video on this until fight week. Take your time out, please like the video, subscribe.